Good evening and welcome to the great city of Opa-locka regular commission meeting. It is April 27th, 2022, Wednesday. The time is 7:11. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Bass,
I'm here.
Commissioner Davis,
Here.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Here.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Here.
Mayor Williams.
Here. Commissioner Davis, invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand.
Father God, we come before you today with humble hearts. We ask that you guide this city and you give us strength and wisdom. Father, we know that we have our challenges, but we know we aren't defeated. And we know through your guidance and your faith and our faith in you that we would be able to move the city and lead it to where it needs to go. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, do we have any awards, proclamations, or acknowledgements?
Yes, Madam Mayor. There is one presentation, a special presentation by Vice Mayor John Taylor Jr.
Okay, Mr. Vice Mayor Taylor.
I'm going to ask my colleagues to join me on the floor. Good evening, everyone. This is an award, as we all know, we're about to lose somebody that's been here for a while in our city. And we are sad to see him go. This is an award of appreciation presented to Nelson Rodriguez on this. On this 27th day of April, 2022. It says, we thank you for all the wonderful things you have done over the course of your 16 years of service here in the city of Opa-locka. Your technological advancement, and most importantly for the people, we will never, and for the help of the people, we will never forget you. And everyone's name is on it. Mayor Veronica Williams, Vice Mayor John Taylor, Commissioner Shirlene Bass, Commissioners Chris Davis, and Commissioner Audrey Dominguez. And I'll say this, I've known Nelson since I was a kid, when I used to harass him when we was in the old city hall in his office. And it's a bittersweet moment. I know you're going to bigger and better things, but you will be missed here in the great city of Opa-locka. So I thought it not robbery for us as a commission to show you our appreciation and to give you this token of, we can't pay you for what you do, man. But we can give you a token of love from us to you. Thank you, Nelson. I'm still mad you're leaving, but it's all right. Here we go. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Do we have any pulls, deferrals, or deletions from the consent agenda?
Madam Mayor,
Commissioner Dominguez?
I would like to pull 13-2 for
Okay,
discussion.
please make note 13-2 is being pulled. Any other pulls? Okay. All right, let's call for a motion to approve. Is it 13-1? Pardon me. 13-1 into the record. I need a motion to approve.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass, second by Vice Mayor Taylor. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Davis,
Here.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes,
motion passes 5-0.
thank you. I need a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Move it.
Moved by Vice Mayor Taylor,
Second.
second by Commissioner Dominguez. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes,
motion passes 5-0.
I need a motion to approve the special commission meeting minutes on April 5th, 2022.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass,
Second.
second by Vice Mayor Taylor. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes.
motion passes 5-0.
Madam Clerk, are there any reports by our county commission?
No, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have any public presentations?
Yes, Madam Mayor. The first presentation we have is the Florida Department of Transportation, and their presentation is on the FDOT safety project along Northwest 135th Street between Cairo Lane and Sesame Street.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I would like to invite the Florida Department of Transportation, the representative, to approach the podium for the presentation.
Hello, good evening. So hey, so this is gonna be brief. This is a small project here, but I do believe it's a good one for the community. It's on State Road 916 Northwest 135th Street from Cairo Lane to Sesame Street. But the bulk of the work is gonna be right there in front of that North Park High School. And it's to install a mid-block crossing for safe pedestrian crossings. So I'm not sure how to click through. Okay, there you go. So if you click to the next slide. We'll see, these are some of the team members, the leadership of FDOT, but the main personnel involved is gonna be myself as a project manager. I have Christian, who is the community outreach specialist, so he'll be handling any coordination with the public, with the commission, with whoever has questions, and then the project administrator is Frankie Perdomo back there. So we're the core project team. So on this slide, you'll see the project overview, the scope of work. It's, like I said, relatively minor. We're constructing a mid-block pedestrian crosswalk and then raise traffic separators in the median. We're installing a new pedestrian traffic signal mast arm with pedestrian poles and pedestrian features. We're reconstructing concrete pedestrian sidewalks, installing new pedestrian and traffic signs and pavement markings, and then repaving and restriping the roadway in that vicinity. The project schedule is set to start later in May, and it's expected to be completed in fall of this year. If you go to the next slide, you'll see some of the details. So it's a $284,000 project. In order to mitigate traffic during while school is still open, we have these nighttime lane closures. So that's what could be expected. So to mitigate traffic, there may be, once school is over, some intermittent daytime single lane closures as needed during construction. And that's something that Christian will put out in letterheads so that the community is aware. So if you go to the next one, you kind of see visually there, and it may be hard to see, but it's just a standard crosswalk. And then this shows there the milling and paving limits. We are also adding some new light poles. So that's another safety feature, just to kind of ensure that anyone using the crosswalk they'll be visible. And then on the next slide, it's difficult to see, but basically it's a mast arm with traffic signals on it, and that'll be able to coordinate to stop traffic as pedestrians cross. There will be some pedestrian detours when we work the concrete in the sidewalk. We'll send notices on that, and there'll be signage and MOT per the DOT standards. And that's it. Like I said, that's short and sweet. It'll be good to install this mid-block crosswalk, and then Christian's information is here. He's our primary contact for the community. So any questions you guys have, feel free to reach out to him. He'll get some contact with me and the project team, and we address any concerns or questions you guys have. I don't know if you have any questions at this time.
Okay, thank you so much. At this time, if we have any questions, Vice Mayor Taylor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I do have one question. The location of the crosswalk, why did you choose that location as opposed to closer to Alexandria Drive where the kids are passing by? Because that would mean they would have to come down Alexandria Drive, make a left, and then to cross the street.
Okay. That wasn't involved in the design. We're the construction team, but we'll definitely we'll ask that question to the designer and see and get a response back to you.
Okay, yeah, because it defeats the purpose in my opinion, because it's so far away from where the children exit from that main street, because nobody's going to walk down to go west to cross the street. To me, it doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely get back to you on that.
All right, thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Madam Clerk, any more public presentations?
Yes, Madam Mayor, we have a second public presentation. Ignacio Calderon. He's with the Transformational Resource Center, and his presentation will be on community and vocational programs.
Thank you. At this time, we invite you, Mr. Ignacio Calderon, to our podium, and we're here all ears.
Thank you. Good evening. My name's Ignacio Calderon, but a lot of people say Calderon, so it's okay. We're here representing Transformational Resource Center, located right here at 681 Fisherman Street. We're here to go through the slides. I don't gonna go through each slide for the sake of time, but I wanted to give some information about the vocational program, construction apprenticeship program we want to bring to Opa-locka, that we're in 5 other cities and 3 correctional facilities. That most importantly, I want to talk about the transformation that it's doing on a daily basis. This program is for the under served, is unemployed, underemployed, returning citizens, veterans, anyone that's seeking an opportunity to learn a trade that can turn into a career. They will be receiving a lot of certifications. This is a nationally recognized program. It's just not a certification, get it and go. Once you become a student, you become like a family of our program. And we follow you for a year. Me as a success coach, my goal is I find them the employment, but getting a job is the easiest thing. So what we do is we follow them to make sure that they keep the job, right? Because we want to get the mindset of not only having a certification, but getting this trade and maybe turning it into, a lifelong career. Here it says that we work with carpentry, electrical, plumbing, sprinkler fitting, solar panel installation, which is something new and it's the future and it's green. And if you can go to up to the slide where the individuals are working, I think it's number 9. Let me see, keep going. Keep going, keep going. Right there. So this is a little hands-on training for the students. And we do it right in our facility right here, or they go to the main campus in FIU. Can you go to the next slide? This class is for everyone. It doesn't matter male or female. It doesn't matter young or old. You have to be 18 years old. All you need is a 9th grade reading level. You do not need a GED or a high school to get into this program, but we do encourage that as they go. The most important thing, we have a lot of success stories, but we get to meet the people at their needs. We get to meet the families to see, do they need food? Do they need tools? What do they need? Because you just give a certification and let them go. That's not what we do. We want to earn the trust of the community so then we can train them and then we can transform them. One of our biggest success stories is Mr. Mitch Olusema, and he's here with me. If he can jump in at this time, I appreciate it.
Good evening again. So I become a success because I am part of Transformational. I am one of the directors of Transformation as well, but I went through the program. I went through the program, completed the program in 2016. I am now the instructor at the satellite location we have here at 681. It's an honor for me to stand before anyone that comes in as a student to provide them the training that we have, the certifications that we have. It has opened up doors beyond doors I could have ever imagined for myself. I am not only the instructor, but I am an entrepreneur, and everything I do is related to construction, building, and people occupying those buildings in some way, shape, or form. So being able to come back to Opa-locka, I say come back to Opa-locka because I was pretty much reared here in Opa-locka. I played football here in Ingram Park. I ran the streets pretty much with other football players and trying to get donations and stuff of that nature. I was out there with Coach Mitch, and he's the one that actually gave me the nickname Mitch because my first name is Mitchun. It's hard to pronounce, right? So it is an honor. It is an honor to be here, to be able to do this, here in the community. As you see here, these are some of the students here. It is not biased in no shape, way, form, or fashion. Some of these people come in and they take what they learn and apply it to businesses of their own, or they develop business of their own. So we are looking to expand even more through this nonprofit organization called Transformational Resource Center, and provide them with certification, nationally recognized certification. That's a NCCER, which stands for National Center for Construction and Education Research. Again, it's nationally certified. They will get an OSHA 30, not an OSHA 10. We know OSHA 30 opens more doors, give them more opportunities to get employed. We would like to get with FDOT as well to see if there's some way or another that individuals coming through the program can be part of this. I know the time sake may be a little too close, but stuff of that nature is what we're trying to do here within the community.
In closing, I just want to leave a quote that it says, there will come a time where you believe everything has finished, and that will be the beginning. We hope that today could be the beginning of something new, something fresh. I've been working in Overtown and Liberty City for the last 7 years. What started as a volunteer has turned into a lifelong calling. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the presentation and for being here today. Does any Commissioner Bass, you have something to say?
Thank you for coming to present us today. I just have a quick few questions that I'm going to ask that I would like for you to provide the answers for. How long is the program? How much does it cost? What is the schedule for those who may be viewing?
Okay, the program to the student is at no cost to the student. Obviously, they have operational costs, the instructor and the books. Right now, I don't have the cost in front of me, but for the student, there's no cost. The program is 6 months because it's a pre-apprenticeship. So it's a 6 months program that we do 2 nights a week, so we don't overwhelm someone that hasn't gone to school or been in a class setting for a long time. To ask them to do 4 or 5 days is kind of like challenging. So it's 2 nights a week. We do from 5 to 9, and or if we have morning classes is from 10 to 2.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, anyone else?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Commissioner Dominguez.
I have a question. How many students have gone through your program and have been
Great
successful?
question. So we started in 2018 with 30 students. Right now we have 183 current students in all our classes with an 83% rate of success getting employed and staying employed.
Thank you.
Thank you. My question, what's the age, the minimum age for the program?
You have to be 18 only because the liability of the construction companies that they require it. 18 to, we have students up to what age?
66.
Wow.
The youngest.
Okay. First of all, I applaud you for, bringing this program. I hope I'm not offending you by saying this, but it brings me to the mind of Job Corps. I've sent many to Job Corps. And which I think is a great thing. We know everyone is not, going to, we need skilled laborers. So I applaud you for bringing this in our community, and we, wherever there's a need that we can assist. One of the things that I hope that comes out of this is that the skilled laborers will, be hired and work and do the work here in our community. Specifically, maybe there's a job pathway program into the city. I can visualize something like that into working with the city. So, and that could just be next steps, but
If I
thank
may
you.
add to that,
Yes,
we do have a local general contractor that we've spoken to already that's willing to hire the students as they're going through the program. So we do have a proposal together with a game plan. And I'm glad that they said Job Corps, and I think Job Corps is great. But the difference between us and anybody, not even Job Corps, is that we follow our students. We put a success coach with them, something that's been transformational. All right, that's meeting their parents, because you say, why are they not going to work? Why? They don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But we are boots on the ground, and we go knock on the doors, and we know who's who and what's what. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now moving into citizens forum. Madam Clerk, if you can please read the rules for citizens forum into record.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening. City of Opa-locka Commission meetings are held in person at Shabandi Village Auditorium, 215 Purvis Avenue, Opa-locka, Florida. Members of the public wishing to address the commission may do so in person or virtually. Those persons wishing to participate virtually should register prior to the scheduled meeting time on the city's website at www.opalockafl.gov. When speaking before the city commission, please make sure to give your full name and address for the record. There is a 3-minute time limit for public comments. Please adhere to the decorum policy, which is a part of the city commission meeting agenda. City Commission meetings are aired through live stream at www.youtube.com/user/City of Opa-locka. And at this time, Madam Mayor, we do have public comments virtually from former Commissioner Dorothy Johnson.
Okay, citizens forum is open. We will take the virtual comment first before we move into physical comments. One second, I think we're waiting on the virtual comment.
Okay.
Nelson, should we move on? Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you.
Hello?
Okay,
Hello?
yes, you're on.
Hello?
Can you hear
Thank you.
us?
Please don't move on. Yes, I can hear you very well. My name is Dottie Johnson. I reside at 13724 Northwest 22nd Place. I hope you can hear me. I am participating via Zoom at Atlanta Airport. My first suggestion is, in order to make the recommendation on the ballot for the upcoming election, November 22nd, if I recall correctly, all this information needs to be back into the supervisor of election by May 29th. I'm sure you all understand the procedures, but I'm hearing now that the meeting's been canceled. I'm a little concerned because this is time sensitive and it requires a quick response. I am strongly suggesting improvement on the method of notifying citizens of meetings, events, and opportunity to enhance the quality of life. We know that each of you know of creative ideas in your toolkit that can master this initiative because you have demonstrated this in your past election campaign. Putting all your resources together and adding value to this will be greatly appreciated. In my leave from home for about 7 days, I'm receiving several calls. I don't really know the gist of it, but citizens are saying they are fearing coming to the meeting. To let them know and decrease this fear, I would greatly appreciate it. I think that as your leadership team move forward, we must set the standards for others to follow. I am highly recommending that the team attend conflict resolution training. Why? Respect is number one. I always agree. But I do know as leaders, your tolerance level has to be high. For example, it is not never the truth what you're saying, but the action that you're taking. I know that you know that education is a key along with wisdom. Congratulations to all of those that are exceeding in their education in our career. However, it is not a requirement for a commissioner to have a high degree. In my opinion, listening skill is your best friend, along with execution of legislation that will benefit the community at large. Remember, it is not what you say, but what you do as a public servant for the betterment of this community. We have heard overall, you're very loud and clear. As a result of this, as the taxpayers, we have decided to exercise our rights in a different format. Stay tuned. God bless you, and we love you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you, Mayor and Commissioners. Good evening. My name is Brian Dennis. My address is 2140 York Street. In January of 2020, I decided to run for the District 3 seat in Miami-Dade County against Keon Hart. Can you hear me now, Vice Mayor? I'm sorry, Mayor. In January of 2020, I decided to run for the District 3 seat in Miami-Dade County against Commissioner Keon Hardeman. During that time, I was writing for the Miami Times. it would have been a conflict of interest for me to continue writing for the Miami Times and run for that District 3 county seat. The last article that I wrote for the Miami Times was April the 20th, 2020, and the article was called "You Can't Blame Roe." For some odd reason, people think I was fired from the Miami Times. After the August primary, everybody was bombarding me about who I should support, so I never wrote another column. The following month, my mother passed. So for those who want to know, instead of running around telling people that I was fired, I stopped writing for the Miami Times because my mother passed. That's why I stopped writing. I never take anything personal with anybody up on the dais. If I have anything to say to anybody, I would directly call you into a meeting. If I see you at an event, that is exactly what I would do. For 6 months, I have not come into a commission meeting and said a word. But for 6 months, I watched all the foolishness that took place and didn't utter a word. Not one word. If former Mayor Kelly don't run for mayor, I am. Do know that there could be 5 new faces come November. Either way it go, if you won't work with me and I'm sitting down here, I could work for the city sitting up there.
Citizens forum is open.
Good evening, Natasha Urban, 670 Dunat Avenue. I come here today to say the same decorum that's read to us week after week by the clerk is the same decorum that you all are held to also. So most times, what I've noticed is when a resident come up to this podium and speak, you all don't have to like what we say, that's fine. But we have the right to say it. It's our right. And most times, for the last few meetings, there's a commissioner that always have something to say. Always. It's just so happened that someone decided to respond to the madness. Now, I do believe that mental illness is real. I don't know what's going on, what the issues, but there is definitely an issue. And I've been trying to investigate for the last few days, weeks, actually, what is it that we can do as a resident? Yeah, I can file a complaint, that's fine. But I was told for the same, just like there was punishment for Ms. Roberts, the dais have the right to punish the commissioner that was also involved in the situation. And I think that that's something that should happen, okay? You know, we have, it's the same thing over and over and over. The employees don't like to come to the podium because of what? There's worried about retaliation. And retaliation happens here all the time. All it takes is for one person not to like what you said, and now you have a whole horse of stuff. And I try very hard not to say anything about hearsay or what, but I know for a fact that police solve most of their crimes by rumors. And rumor has it that it's that the decision that was made came from the request of the dais. It's a rumor. I'm not an official police officer, but it's what's being said. So I'm gonna take my last 40 seconds and head to my seat. Don't know where we're going, but I can say that this is the worst commission that I have seen, and I've been coming to meetings 30 years. The worst, respectfully.
to Ronnie Mitchell, 14225 Northwest 22nd Place. Good evening, everyone. I want to start by saying that I mentioned previously about the streets are not finished striping. I got a response back indicating that it will be done by March 31st. It is the 27th of April. This starts from 22nd Avenue, 143rd, all the way going back to Nathan B. Young Elementary School. Also, I wanted to get feedback, if I can, regarding the hiring of the crossing guards, because that was told that will be done by March 21st. I don't know if it was or not. On yesterday, there was an alligator sighting by Nathan Young School in the canal. That's not the first one we seen, the first time. We previously had the signs indicating alligator sightings. Those signs disappeared. So you guys might want to have someone to put more up, because the kids be down by the canals, you know, they're in the water down at Ingram Park. Also, the manatees are coming this way as well, because during the evening, I walk along the canal and the manatees with the babies are coming down this way. So I don't know, you know, if it's due to the alligators or whatever the case may be. So we may want to post signs indicating that the alligators are, you know, back in the waters if they ever went anyplace. But it was a baby, and then it was known to, it was said that it was also a bigger one as well. So normally it's where you see a baby, there's a mom. Also, I want to present to the commission, if I may, documents that I had on the previous subject that I was speaking about. If you, thank you. If you need more, I have more. Okay, as he presented to you guys, I just want you to look at the date on the top. It's a confirmation of an email. And I was coming up, speaking about and questioning, since this took place, the mortgage assistance that the residents never received. And they were told to submit the application. So this particular application, since Dade County said there was not an application submitted, this application was submitted on November 20th, 2020, because once I gave the residents this information, that particular resident put in the application. It says the application was submitted. There's the application number, and it does indicate on the emergency rental assistance, but in this case, this was for the mortgage. So I want to see if someone can get some type of feedback from Miami-Dade County on what happened. You have some proof now, since they said it wasn't an application submitted. So the proof is there, and I need to have an answer. Thank you.
Citizens Forum.
Good evening. My name is Sandra Colado. I live in 301 Bahama Avenue. Say hello, everybody. My concerns, I want to talk about, maybe you have a problem to resolve about the city of Opa-locka, the traffic in Amazon. I have a very big problem in there. So I see the police making some tickets for a lot of I have some friend complain about I coming to the meeting, try to say something. I want to try to each one, find out what's going on to Amazon, the light on 134th Street, 37th Avenue. You know, they go to Alibaba, the Amazon close to 37. Okay, I have a very, very, very bad problem in there. I needed you to recognize that to the people living in the city. And then I have another one to Charasal Avenue, about close to children family, and the back is having the street go down when the people close to Sharasa, and they have some hole in both sides. I don't know explain how exactly. But some people say having something the car broken. Maybe you have a time to look at that and try to help that. And as I have another question to the building, Alibaba, to the great and black, a building close to 27th Avenue, or I see 27th Avenue to Alibaba, right? Close to school. You know, see the building, the black and gray. Just a lot of drug in there. The police before a few months ago, let's go over there and they try to this place looking more better. Because the city, I see a lot of chains. Please, see you surround each one here. I wanted my city looking nice. I have a lot of years living in here. I don't see no chain. But I want to talk another one about close my house, frame my house, 301 the park. I see a lot of children now. The 1980 and 1922 now, the park is the same. Yeah, I see now a lot of children, new people living in Opa-locka. She's selling a lot of house, a lot of people. Please, I need you consent that to see what do you want to do for the park for the children.
Thank you.
That's not only take care of hold my place over there. The police over there is 9 o'clock. It's no problem, but he need clothes because I see people sleeping in the place. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Citizens Forum? Citizens Forum is closed. Okay, moving on to our action items. Madam Attorney, if you can read consent agenda item 13.2 into record.
Madam Mayor, are you seeking a motion for the consent agenda?
Say that again.
Are you seeking a motion for acceptance of the consent agenda? Or you'd like for me to read the item? Okay. let me
Yes,
Go ahead.
yeah,
and read
it was pulled.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the city manager to piggyback the Miami-Dade County contract with H&R Paving, Inc. for qualified professional services.
Madam Mayor, I'm sorry. I think we should be on 13.2, Madam Attorney.
13.2.
13.2.
Yes, 13.2 was pulled.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, ratifying the city manager's emergency decision to secure Flowtech Environmental LLC for CCTV inspection and heavy cleaning of the city stormwater drainage system on Sherazad Boulevard between Northwest 27th Avenue and Ahmad Street in an amount not to exceed $41,340, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the city manager.
Okay, thank you. Can I have a motion to discuss consent agenda item 13.2?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Davis, second by Vice Mayor Taylor. Mr. Manager.
Yes, at this time, I'd like to ask the Director of Public Works, Mr. Aria Austin, to come and present.
Good afternoon, Aria Austin, Public Works Director. This item was, we intended to do an evaluation of the Scheherazade Boulevard drainage system as a recommended project for the ARPA programs. We wanted to establish the degree of damage in the system that was resulting in flooding from 22nd Avenue, between 27th Avenue and Ahmad Street. During the evaluation process, we found that the system was inundated with mud and foreign objects. At that time, we made a decision to continue with our evaluation to see the extent of damage in the system. And it resulted in a charge of $41,301, at which point we stopped the evaluation until such time that we could put an RFP on the street to continue with the entire system evaluation.
Okay, any questions from the dais?
Madam Mayor,
Commissioner Dominguez?
the reason why I pulled this item is because I know that this is a great idea to, the drainage to be cleaned. However, I'd like to ask the city manager and Mr. Austin, what measures are you going to have with staff to avoid the drainage to get to this point? It is my understanding that it has been over 8 years since these drainage have been cleared. So I just would like to suggest having a system in place, for example, inspecting, whenever we have a heavy rain or a rainstorm, to see the conditions of the drainage. This will avoid having to make an emergency decision in the future, because as you already know, this last minute decision is going to cost us $41,340. So I just would like to know what system are we going to have in place to avoid this happening? Because it's just like when you go get your car, if you get your oil change regularly, you know that your car is going to be running fine. But if you never check it and never change it, something like this can happen. And I looked at the page on page 56. I mean, you could tell that this has been an extensive period of time that this has not been checked or looked at. So I just would like to ask them, Mr. Austin or Mr. Manager, what measures are going to.
Mr. Manager, may I respond?
Absolutely.
Yes, it has been a while since this particular drain system has been cleaned. As a method of moving forward, 3 years ago, the city of Opa-locka acquired a stormwater jet vac truck specifically to address our drainage systems. Prior to that, it was a neglected system and done on a haphazard basis, I must admit. But we have had a program set in place. We've been also using a third-party vendor because it's such an extensive project to keep up with our drainage systems. But moving forward, it's going to be done on a monthly basis, at least inspections, and where inspection shows that there's a need to do cleaning will be performed to all of our drainage systems. And it's a 5-year plan to be able to address all of the drains in the city, the 400+ drains throughout the city. The Shahrazad Boulevard drainage system was a special case because of the inundation with materials. Our in-house team could not perform the necessary cleaning and TV inspection to determine the extent of the damage.
So basically, you're going to start doing now monthly inspections on all the drainages that we have.
Yes, we
To
will.
avoid this to get to this point.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Madam Mayor,
Commissioner Bass?
just a comment. I am relieved that this has been taken care of, or it's in the process of being taken care of.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Bass, I cannot hear
Are you
you.
gonna hear? Oh, I'm
No.
so sorry. I'm sorry. I said I am relieved that this project is taking place. I passed that street for the last 22 years going to and from work, and during the rainy season, it is nasty and the kids have to walk through it, the cars splashing water. But I'm glad to say that as of this year, hopefully that would be in the past. So I'm looking forward to a final project. When, to Mr. Austin, when do you, may I? Mr. Austin, when do you think that project is going to be completed?
First, we need to we have an RFP that will be coming before the city commission for allowing us to have a vendor do the complete evaluation of the system. That RFP will be on the street for 25 days after your approval. And we hope to have it back to you within the next 3 weeks after we have an approval and a selection.
So is there a possibility that the coming up rainy months that will be taken care of?
Right now, during the rainy events, we have not seen any flooding, and we're hopeful that you'll be able to traverse the roadway without any flooding events.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Austin.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Bass,
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item 16AB. This is a second reading, public hearing. Madam Attorney, if you can read into record.
An ordinance of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, amending the annual adopted general proprietary and special revenue funds budgets for the fiscal year commencing October 1, 2021 and ending September 30th, 2022, adjusting revenues and expenditures as reflected in Exhibit A, providing for the expenditure of funds established by the budget, authorizing the city manager to take certain actions, providing for appropriation of all budgets and expenditures, providing for fees consistent with appropriations and amendment, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for conflict and repealer, providing for severability, providing for an effective date. The first reading was held on April the 13th, and this is sponsored by the city manager.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to discuss agenda item 16B1?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Davis,
Second.
second by Commissioner Bass. Mr. Manager, if you can introduce the item.
Absolutely. I'd like to call our Director of Budget and Risk Management, Bob Anathan, to speak on this item.
Good evening, Commission. Bob Anathan, Budget Administrator. As was said, this is the second hearing. The first hearing was on April 13th. We discussed 44 items at that time. Since then, a couple new items have come up, which is appropriate to introduce to this second hearing. If we can get a quick presentation, I'll take you through it very quickly. Well, let me start without it and we'll catch up to it. As I said, there are 6 items that are new this time. The difference from what you saw the last time, we brought in $145,000 more of revenue, $151,000 of additional expense. The revenue came from 2 sources. We brought in $45,000 of seizure funds that we're now allowed to bring into. And in addition, we brought in $100,000 of permit revenue. And the reason for doing that is the year-to-date permit revenue is already exceeding the budget for the year by $100,000, so I just brought it in. Next slide, please. Again, this is what we're talking about. I think we've covered this. We'll move on to the next page, please. As I said, there are 6 items there. 5 of them involve increased expenditures. The first one has nothing to do with expenditures, has to do with a $45,000 of seizure revenue that we brought in. There, after that, items 46, 47 are 2 larger items that I'm going to address very quickly. There's going to be a resurfacing project on Northwest 19th Avenue that you'll see at the next commission meeting. And for that's $85,000 funded through general fund balance. And the number 47, as we've discussed a couple of times, when employees leave and they have unused leave, they're able to cash that out. We had a couple large hits against the budget by departed employees. I think it's appropriate to recommend another $52,000 be brought in to address some future departures. After that, there are 3 small items, in total $6,000. In each of those cases, there are small budgets. The year-to-date trend suggests that those budgets might need a little bit of refunding. So what I've recommended is bringing in, as I said, $6,000 across those 3 line items. So that completes my presentation on the 6 items that we discussed tonight. Stand ready to answer anything in regard to that, or if possibly if there's something in the first hearing, first 44 that you'd like to go back to, we can also discuss that. Thank you.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Public hearing item. Public hearing is open. Public hearing closed. Any discussion from the commission?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Commissioner Davis.
thank you. I have a question about an item on the parks. It speaks to overtime parks and recreation summer programs. Can you just give a little bit of insight as to what that expenditure is for? Mr. Anderson or the manager?
Yes, through the mayor. That was brought to my attention for the first hearing. The interim acting director felt that for the summer programs, since they're both daily programs in the day and also evening programs, that it was necessary to beef up the overtime budget. I think the budget was originally $2,000. I think we added $3,000 to it just to provide a window in case there was additional overtime for the evening programs.
And this was programs that took place this summer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I would like to.
That will take place in the summer, yes.
That will take place
Yes.
this current summer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we haven't started those programs yet. So
That's
it's anticipation of.
That's correct.
Overtime. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I'd also like to address one of the other budget items specifically in anticipation as we are preparing for our future budgets. Currently, our line item for employees that are cashing out PTO upon their departure is about $60,000 from last year, while we actually spent $300,000 on that item. So moving forward, that is something that we're going to need to address and be concerned about.
Thank you, Mr. Manager, for that. That is a concern, so we appreciate you addressing that. If there's no other questions or discussion, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Mayor Williams.
Yes,
Motion passes 4-0.
thank you. Item 17, Mr. Manager, we will now ask you to deliver your city manager report.
Absolutely. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Again, as always, it's an honor to have the opportunity to speak before the dais and also the members and residents of our community. I'd like to put before the commission that we will be reaching out from my office to have some names submitted by you with regard to our Citizens Committee, which we'll be initiating next week. I also invite the citizens to participate in our Citizens Committee, which will provide you the opportunity to have direct access to the city manager's office and get reports and updates directly from our office regarding matters that are important to the city. In addition, there are several items that I've noticed frequently come before the dais, which are items that actually should come to the administration for us to address. We want to be responsive to our citizens. We want to get the work done. We want to have an open dialogue and transparency. So please come and participate. We will be announcing those dates soon. I'd also like to address and announce that we will be having a First Amendments training session for all of our police officers that has been identified by Captain Steele. Will be followed up with Captain Rogers and also Acting Captain Harborough. It is important for us to understand, particularly for our law enforcement that actually is actually enforced to uphold the law, to understand what its limits are. First Amendment rights is part of our constitutional rights and is one of the founding principles of our government. However, it has its limits. It's important to note that if I yell fire in a crowded theater and there's someone's injured, I can be held criminally liable for that. That is a limit to our constitution. That is a limit to our First Amendment rights. If I'm on a plane and I yell bomb, I can be held criminally liable for that as well. That is a limit to our constitutional rights for First Amendment. So it's not without its limits, and our police force need to understand where those boundaries are. At this time, I'd also like to have Ms. Adelina Gross stand, Ms. Wilma Wilcox stand, and Mr. Bob Anathan stand. I'd like to give you a new introduction to this team for some of you that know these as familiar faces and understand that I have been promoted them in their roles. Ms. Annalena Gross is going to be our new manager for CIP, which is our capital improvement projects. Ms. Wilma Wilcox has been promoted to manager for our code enforcement department. And Mr. Bob Anathan has agreed to take on the additional roles of risk management along with budget. So I'd like to give them special recognition from the dais. And this concludes my report.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we have, any questions for the manager? Questions or comments for the manager? Okay.
Madam Mayor, I just have
Yeah.
one.
Yes,
I
Commissioner
saw that we had through the mayor, I saw that we had a recent update with the opera funding, and obviously, we're unaware of any timeline or what's the definite timeline to get the funds expended. Can you just provide a brief update as far as like where we are with procuring the item and getting the ball moving on fixing one of our most pressing concerns, which is our road, streets, and infrastructure?
Absolutely. So we have an April 30th reporting deadline, which we have met, and we'll continue to meet the deadlines that are required by us. We'll be following that up for a December deadline to actually encumber the funds. However, we anticipate that we shall be doing that ahead of time. Our next item is to actually secure the administrative oversight and support that we require to actually administer the funds. We are looking at doing outside support, but we're also looking to a contract that we currently have with Ms. Jerry Lazard's for Tri-Merge Company to provide some oversight. So we're looking at the most judicious and least expensive way to actually get that job done. We will be providing a workshop, scheduling a workshop sometime next month, hopefully, to actually have a discussion with the members of the dais on how we're going to distribute the ARPA funds, or our recommendations for such. Right now, we're actually determining, as you saw with one of the agenda items, what the cost of some of those items are going to be. So we're gathering up what the expenditures were going to be so we can finish those recommendations.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Manager. Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, hearing none. Madam Clerk, do we have any official board reports?
No, Madam Mayor.
Okay. If there are any future agenda items from the commission. Okay. We are now going to move on to our mayor commission reports.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, Commissioner Davis.
Thank you. I just wanted to bring a point home and acknowledge the fact that Miss Mary Alice Brown, one of the longtime trailblazers in our community who helped with the establishment of Bunch Park Pool, that she fought for young youth and in this community to have the right to learn how to swim and to have a proper facility, as well as all the advocacy she's done over the years for our residents and work with local nonprofits. But we had an opportunity to basically rename As One Apartments, which has been a development in our city, a multifamily complex for some time after Miss Brown, and I'm just very excited to see that happen. Oftentimes, we usually give people their flowers when they're, when they're no longer breathing or they're no longer here. So it's very heartwarming to see that opportunity take place, and just to see the smile on her face was just awesome. So just wanted to highlight that point, and let's continue to give people their flowers while they're here. And in the spirit of Mary Alice Brown, let's move this community forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Madam Mayor.
Vice Mayor Taylor.
We know that next week on the 5th is National Day of Prayer, and the commission as a whole is sponsoring a prayer for our city of Opa-locka, that will be held at 780 Fisherman in front of City Hall, the Opa-locka complex at 10 a.m. The flyer will be posted tomorrow, and we hope that everybody that can come out.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Commissioner Bass.
starting on May 7th, which is a Friday, I will be in my office at 780 Fisherman Street from 4 to 5. Meet me Fridays. Any concerns that I'm able to help with? If not, I know who to go to assist you. With that being said, I would like to say to the community, City of Opa-locka, its residents, just to put to rest rumors, I will not be in attendance of the women's event this week coming up. Reason being, this is going to be my first Mother's Day without my mom, and I am not in a good place to come and basically, pretend I'm having a good time. I'm just not gonna do that. And I felt that it was necessary just to put the rumors to rest that Commissioner Bass is not supporting the women of Opa-locka. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome. Okay. Hearing none.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
If you don't have any more, I do have an announcement at the conclusion of all of the reports.
I'm sorry.
I do have an announcement. I need to announce an executive session, please.
No, I know. I don't know if we were done though.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. I would like to invite women to the Women of Many Hats Mother's Day Dinner, 6:30 p.m. on May 6th, Friday, May 6th at Shabundi Village. We will be honoring mothers that are residents of Opa-locka that have made a difference at Nathan B. Young, as well as I call it when I went there in Opa-locka in kindergarten, Opa-locka Elementary, Dr. Robert Ingram, B. Ingram Elementary School, just to thank Teen Upward Bound, Carrie Meek Foundation, and my new bestie, Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, for sponsoring. I would also like to give some words to the dais because this is the time that we can speak to each other. I just want to say the words fortitude, resiliency, and perseverance. We will not allow rumors, lies, and conspiracy theories to continue to shape the narrative of Opa-locka. We ran on change, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And I hope moving forward that the members of the dais continue to, again, move with fortitude, move with resiliency, and move with perseverance. We will not move on rumors, lies, and conspiracy theories that we seem to hear each commission meeting. So I want to thank my commissioners, my dais, or our dais. I want to thank us for just being you. And let's continue to move forward. Madam Attorney.
Yes, Madam Mayor, thank you. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. This is an announcement given for a private closed-door attorney-client session or sessions pursuant to Section 286.0118 Florida statutes. It will be held in the conference room at the City of Opa-locka's, in the City of Opa-locka's clerk's office on May the 11th at 6 p.m. or soon thereafter. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss the following pending litigation matters, and they are Ingram Park Apartments LLC versus Miami-Dade County and City of Opa-locka, case number 2020-008684 CA01, to be held at 6 o'clock p.m. Raul Fernandez, DJ Opportunities versus Miami-Dade County and the City of Opa-locka, case number 2019-035518 CA01, to be held at 6:15 PM. Lakeview Apartments LLC versus Miami-Dade County and the City of Opa-locka, case number 20-001-124-CA01 to be held at 6:30. Opa-locka Warehouse Condominium Association, Inc. versus City of Opa-locka, case number 2018-002-828-CA01 to be held at 6:40 PM. And GFM Operations, Inc. versus City of Opa-locka, case number 2016-02-6601-CA01 to be held at 6:45 PM. And the following individuals will attend the meeting: Mayor Williams, Vice Mayor Taylor, Commissioner Davis, Commissioner Bass, Commissioner Dominguez, Interim City Manager Darvin Williams, City Attorney Bernadette Norris Weeks, Assistant City Attorneys Michelle Austin Pammies and Candace Cobb, and on the record court reporting. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to speak regarding the Mayor Commissioner's report. I'd like to
Commissioner
also
Dominguez.
announce my
We-
Mother's Day event, which is Saturday, May 7th. It's going to be called Mom's Night Out. Please come. We have sponsors, Juice Fine, DC to Win, Chen Medical. We're gonna have food, music, fun, and we're gonna have a lot of giveaways. So please don't miss it. It's at 6 PM, May 7th. Thank you.
Okay. Just for the commission, moving forward, if we can stick to the agenda items so that we can make sure that we get out earlier than later. Madam Clerk, do we have any official board appointments?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. We have two pending applications. We have an application from Deborah Irby for the Civil Service Board. And we have an application from Enya Martinez for the Civil Service Board. These are individual appointments.
Madam Clerk, I would like to appoint Enya Martinez to the Civil Service Board.
And I'll do Ms. Irby for the Civil Service Board.
Got it. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, and can I have a motion to adjourn the commission meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion moved by Vice Mayor Taylor. Second? Second by Commissioner Davis. Thank you so much for coming out, and we continue to bless the great city of Opa-locka.